Anna chuid a dhéanamh an soch an leanúint a raigin san immert ach Gaillimh Rómha críochnú agus Yimiadar an son lo agus an gasca denta ag na Gaillimh agus leanan cuasaí a raigin so a Dave Lín amid a fannacht le leart le banistóir na fórna agus leanig an taction an so gan dá John Allen tá Maint na Gaillimh har a bheith sásta, har a bheith dóchasach an isis agus aber I gamparáid le Kilchuinnig an isis gach seans go bheith ceomíd Gaillimh agus Kilchuinnig I gimmert in aige chéile I gréamh lion a bhfuil siad a bhadmhatha an isis.
Ní dólim go bhfuil chonig mar sin san chluthesra le déanaí anathe spántas ar fád tríd na páirce, Shane Cavan, Antonio, Ger Farrell na páirce anathe spántas.
Tá John McIntyre banistóir na fórna tagach an leirtling. John, congratulations, a superb performance, fantastic work rate, and you must be a delighted man.
Yeah, I mean, there's no point getting to league final, Michael, unless we're going to win it. And, I was just saying on the radio there, winning the Walsh Cup final earlier in the year, I felt was a turning point for Galway because going up to Parnell Park was never going to be easy against Dublin. And to win a final was important. And it was our first bit of silverware in 6 years. And we've driven on from there. And in fairness to the players, they fought really hard today. They laid the foundation for their victory, I think, in the opening half, leading at half-time by 4 points against the wind. And but we challenged them in the second half to drive on from there. I don't believe Cork were playing silly beggars today. I think Cork were anxious to win some silverware, maybe to justify their strike last year against Gerald McCarthy. They fought to the bitter end, but on the day, Galway were the better team.
All right, Karina Maga John, agus cóhardachas leat.
Seeing as this is our second piece of silverware this year, it's a case of so far so good for us, and there's just a few people I'd like to thank at this stage. Firstly, I'd like to thank our collective management team for their continued effort and dedication. Their application is second to none. I'd like to thank our medical team, our physio, Trisha Sterlioff, and our doctor, who's actually a Corkman, so I'm not sure how he's feeling right now. Dr. Dan Murphy, thank you. I'd like to thank our conditioning coaches, John David Carney and Fergal O'Callaghan, as well as our kit man, James Callaghan, or as Tex, as he seems to be known as everyone. His dedication to the job is second to none, and thanks very much, Tex. I'd also like to thank our county board officials for their continued support throughout the year and their tireless work behind the scenes. And lastly, but by certainly no means least, I'd like to thank our very generous sponsor, Supermax. Supermax have stuck with Galway through thick and thin down through the years, and it's certainly something that hasn't gone unnoticed by the current Galway squad. And just to Pat and Una, if there's ever anything we can do for you, please don't hesitate to ask, and thanks again. And finally, to Cork, what can I say? Things just didn't run for you today, lads, but not to worry. The year really starts here now. League is over, moving on to championship, and you never know, our path might cross again come the summer. So 3 cheers for a gallant Cork team. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. Thank you very much.
Carter, just one final thing to do. Not alone is he captain today and an outstanding fullback, but he's also awarded the recipient of the man of the match. And now I'd ask Brendan Murphy, CEO of Allianz, to present the award to Shane.
Cóhardachas mar sin leis an Gaillimh agus má bhuiachas le Dennis Welch banistóir Corcaí has trish fanachta mohan a Dave Lín le leirtling. Dennis, it's never easy to talk to anyone, I suppose, to give you a reaction immediately after the game, but it wasn't a day for Cork today.
No, I mean, we've no complaints really. Galway up the tempo. I mean, the first half was a terrific game. It was fast and scores were fast and furious, but we more than held our own really. We've probably been unlucky that maybe we were a bit close at half time, but we conceded 2 points straight away, same as last year in the championship. and we seemed to be losing, a lot of the kind of breaking ball, 50-50 balls for most of the second half, and there was times we were advancing down the half hour and even the last half an hour where we looked to be attacking them, we lost the ball and they got a score below, and that's a serious turnaround at this level.
It was mentioned here in the stand, Dennis, and also maybe in the commentary, that maybe some of the guys who have had a lot of mileage on the legs, maybe there's not a whole pile left in those guys, and maybe we should be reassessing where Cork really are in the pecking order at this stage.
Yeah, well, I to be honest with you, we're only getting going. The championship is only starting now, so I'm sure the players will answer those questions in due course, starting in 4 weeks' time. So I'm not going to answer the questions. I'll be asking the questions, and the players will answer those questions.
Cork supporters have been clamouring to see Michael Cusson and Isaki playing together in a big day. We saw it today. How did you feel it went?
Well, I suppose as the game turned out, Michael Cusson had a splendid game really in the half-forward line, and there wasn't a whole lot going to Isaki inside, so maybe that's because we weren't allowed to get the ball in, but we'll have to just shuffle the pack maybe and see how it's going. But I was very pleased with Michael Cusson, the way he performed, won a lot of ball.
And finally, Owen Dillon, a baptism of fire coming in at fullback, a very difficult thing to do to Mark Joe Canning any day of the week. Hard day for him. Yeah,
well, I don't know what Joe would have got in the bitter end, but for the most part, Owen acquitted himself very well there. Joe got a goal and a point in about a minute or two in the first half, which made it look worse than what it was, but I think Owen played well right to the end there, and I think a lot of the scores Joe got were maybe out the field when there was a lot of space created, so we'll have to look at that. The best defender in the world isn't going to be able to mind his house if there's too much space in front of him at this level.
Okay, thanks Dennis. Gurmagad starting in such Ranon and Yov. Okay, well, Sinead Marshin, agus tá an score Dernach and son, 1-1 Eladiv and son, agus Galway na Búitóirí and so dó a fehadó ag Galway, Cork a héna seachtaíag, agus a siad Galway, Curragha na Stratha, Dun Bhliain seo. Ná dennig I darúd, Velling a rís, Tranona de Saring Shukuing, Pelnaman bio vega going div, Clehi Canish, Rina Hain a dó, agus a trí, Corca le Galway, sa free of Ryan and son, so sin Tranona de Saring, agus be Comortas Pellan the Guelta de going coma, again Misa, o vele word I gande vuyo. Okay, well, Mareki sibh tá Grianna gemacht faoi agus ar deridenta leis a glár áirithe seo agus an Tránóna seo tres límid leis an Galway agus le Lochgarman gandáta tá tres Ryan na dó a bhuachad sa Tránóna inniuh agus fágamid sibh le Reintas na Búitóirí agus na Caimhnití móra bhí going ó hasach na Stratha seo.
Sinead go Divan Bay. Pelnaman na tatfugi beon share TG Cartas aren't hugging ag leabhar his hían agus be man an súd ó chá siar a rinscan na Caimhnití móra bhí ag Corca agus tibrad árainn ó 1987 go dtí 1990 hían Babs Keating, Pat Fox, Joe Hayes, Thomas Mulcahy, Gerald McCarthy, Sean O'Gorman, Pat Fleury agus na léchra móra fad a ghlachapáirta strán nó léchra gaalanse TG Cahad ítar daine go hochtachlog na Caimhlín tís muid a díúisteach a méid hitamach idir Corca agus tibrad árainn idir 1987 agus 1990 hían a sin idir daine ag hocht. Na dearmdaigh mé mu a casú siar ar action deir seach nar fad GA rá víle sa desnaí máireach ag carú héis seach agus go Divan Pelnaman na tathugaí de Sarann se hagann ag leabhar his hían na Cliffy Canish Pellan na Stratha riine hían dó agus i trí.